sometimes it grows out a little bit. Hair, I'm talking about. Sometimes it grows on your body, on your face, armpits, more importantly, below the waist. That's where it likes to grow at times. Well, Manscaped, who happens to be the sponsors for today's show, are the leaders in below the waistline grooming. They keep your short and curlies short and not as curly. They keep you feeling nice and fresh. They keep you ready for any occasion, But more importantly, you might be asking yourself, well, how? How does that happen? Well, they got this instrument called the Lawnmower 4.0. Not 3.0. We had that. That was dope. But we had to upgrade. And at times you got to upgrade. We all know this. But the Lawnmower 4.0 with the light that turns on and off is waterproof. And it is smooth, baby. Smooth. And it keeps you short. It keeps your dangly twins feeling nice and smooth as well. But more importantly, man, with Manscaped, we know they have promo codes, and that code is MOATS. If you use that, you'll get 20% off of your purchase along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. So don't waste time. Don't leave your dangly twins feeling too furry. Make sure you cut that coat back a little bit, all right? And everybody will appreciate them, and you will as well. So with that being said, shout out to Manscaped. All right, so
how we feeling about it?
What's up
with TJ? Are we panicking?
I mean, bro.
Nah, I think the defense is fine. It sucks not having them, but I think we'll make it work.
I think that's the panic button right there.
Well, the issue is he's not injured for the season. So with that optimism, how do you determine his replacement? Because you're not going to pay for that caliber productivity if you're only going to be needing it for 8 to 10 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. But at the same time, we saw the pass rush or the lack thereof at times yesterday, man.
I think you got to go shopping.
JPP.
But who? But that's my thing, because it's like when we're talking what it would cost for one of these marquee names that are still out there.
Like who, though? It's something out there.
D4, JPP. Those are the two bigger names in terms of like established guys now. D4 fits our scheme more than a JPP, but those are the two, names right now. Who'd you say?
JPP fits everybody's scheme.
I mean, of course, we know he's a sack guy. He's a double-digit guy, but more importantly, it's because he was a part of the greatest draft class ever, 2010. Just throwing that out there. Hello. Okay, so he's a part of that class. Okay, so that's why he fits every scheme. Of course.
He fits every scheme.
But he's going to cost. Or how much are you paying for 8 weeks? That's the question. Because when TJ comes back, what are you saying? You're gonna say, "Hey, Alex Highsmith."
But does it come back like how?
Listen, TG, me and you know that doesn't come back like that. We know that, but that's not the consensus. The consensus is hope. The consensus is he's coming back, and he's gonna be TJ Watt Depoy as soon as he comes back. We know how it is coming back from injuries, especially some of the significant ones like that. We get it.
Did he tear it or did he not tear it?
They said it's not off the bone. It's torn, but it's not completely off the bone. So no surgery, but it's
so three doctors said he tore it, and one doctor gave him no, it's not too bad, and we went with that doctor type.
Man, look, I didn't look into it too much. Okay. All I know is they said it wasn't torn completely off the bone.
He's from that Watt bloodline, though.
I agree.
Big Bro came back from what, a torn bicep?
He was torn off the bone. He had the surgery on the pec and came back.
He'll be back.
That's all I'm saying. It's like, bro, certain dudes, man, they'll do it. Now, is it the same impact? We don't know, but we're banking on it. So that's why it's like, man, do you pay a JPP that type of money to come in if we're expecting TJ to come back in essentially 4 or 5 more weeks?
I think you do. I think you go get something.
Because
I think if he comes back and he's not fully back and because he's not just going to come back and play every play.
But that's the assumption. That's the expectation. We know that isn't as realistic, but that is what the expectation is, that when he comes back, he's full go. He's good to go. Don't worry about anything. And that's why, for me, I'm saying if that's the case, you don't need to bring in a JPP, because all you're going to run into is the Melvin Ingram situation from a year ago, where you got a guy that wants to play, that deserves to play, but by the way our roster is set up and the politics and everything like that, he's not going to be out there as often, and that's going to cause an issue because we know JPP ain't going to go for that.
It depends what the team's doing, though. You know what I mean? If things are going, I don't know. That's tough.
That's all I'm saying,
you got to. I think you got to get somebody though. I think you got to get somebody. I think you got to fill that void a little bit. You know, even like a Taco Charleston that's still out here. Like
I forgot
I think
about
you could go
Taco.
back.
Time out. Taco been here before, man. Wait a minute now.
Yeah,
Last year.
Deke was a Taco fan. He was a Taco fan.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah,
He
Taco
wasn't
fan.
terrible for us last
Yeah.
year.
I like his
I think-
celebration. Celebration fun.
yeah. Love the chain.
Yeah.
Love the chain.
He got all the intangibles.
Yeah, I think, but maybe you go get something like that and you fill the void of like a 2-for-1-ish type for that position.
Well,
You know,
what about the Deke's other homeboy? I don't know if you play with him or not. Cassius Marsh. What about
Cassius
Cassius?
Marsh?
You remember Cassius? He's a passer.
Yeah.
He'll rush. He's not going to do everything up there. He'll rush the passer now. We know he do that.
He might. Yeah, I'd like to, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. That definitely be a good one. I think he's super athletic. I don't know. Like I think it's somebody that's been in the building before that comes back to the building type. Maybe Debo comes back. Maybe Debo does his Debo move. Maybe we
Hey,
start.
don't you plant that seed? Don't you?
Maybe
Don't you
we
do that,
start.
TG?
Maybe we start
TG,
some rumors.
don't you plant that seed? Don't you do that? Don't you
that.
plant that seed? Because you know,
Maybe Debo does the Debo,
bro. And you know, of all people, he'll be the one to feed right into that thing.
Debo.
He'll fly to Pittsburgh tomorrow, drop a pick with his shirt off at the dock getting checked in. You know how Debo play. Like,
Yeah,
come on, bro.
he has to go. He in shape. Maybe Debo comes
That
for it.
boy say, yo, just hit Debo up, man.
As much as we joke it, that might be the one to come do it too. Like,
Well, because I mean, you bring up a good point in the sense of, man, if TJ is going to miss a substantial amount of time, and when he does return, is not going to necessarily be TJ Watt, the defensive player of the year for the first, couple of games or whatever, then sure, it does make it a little bit more intriguing. But my whole issue with it is like, man, what caliber replacement are we looking for? Because my question to you, TG, is Cassius Marsh going to be an upgrade over a Malik Reed who we have in house right now, or a Jameer Jones who we have in house right now? You know what I mean?
right. I do
And
understand.
it's those type of dudes where I'm just like, well, if all we doing is just spending money, but we're bringing in the same caliber guys, how does that improve our situation?
I mean, if they're in the building, because they gonna know the defense too. Like they know what they're doing, and if they're doing what they're supposed to do, and it's just a little bit of productivity. Like you're not gonna get the TJ Watt productivity, but just a little bit. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're even the sense of the trash work, like really getting that edge set. You know what I mean? Really, you know what I mean? Like little stuff that you don't, but that really shows up.
No, without a doubt.
When that wide come back, really crushing that wide coming back, setting that edge so that linebacker don't have a real big C gap, but he has a light C gap. Little stuff like that. If they're getting the job done in the sense of that, you might not get all the sacks, but they're getting the job done. They're keeping the defense whole. And yeah, that's what you go with. But if you start seeing them start squirting out a little bit harder, and you start to put it on the linebackers, and it's not all the way on the linebackers, then it's like you might got to go shopping.
Okay.
You felt that? Yeah.
I like it. I liked everything you said. I just won't feel in the Debo one. That's all, man. But other than that, I was good. I was like, yo, I'm with you. You dropped Debo. I'm like, bro, that's like when Deke say, yo, bring back 7. I'm like, bro, that's like when you saying bring back Debo. I'm like, bruh, come on.
No, it's not the same. It's different.
It's not?
It's night and day different.
Whoa.
Because one's realistic and one's not. It's night and day different.
Oh.
You felt that?
Okay. I'm picking up what you put down there. Say no more. All right.
Yeah.
All right.